What's up, nail geeks? I am back with Femme Fatale's Fist Bump collection. This is a 10-piece set of various Crellies and thermals inspired by none other than Adventure Time. So let's dive right into the swatches. First up is an ideal mud puddle. This is described as a deep blue when cool to lightish green when warm thermal with dark blue metallic hexes in 2 sizes, plus a mesmerizing blue to purple shifting iridescent flake. So this is what I would consider definitely a true jelly type of finish. And for opacity, I'm going to suggest 3 coats on it. Now across the board for the majority of this collection, I'm going to definitely suggest going in for 3 coats. There's a lot of Crelly finishes here, and some, just like Mud Puddle, lean more on the jelly side. This has a very squishy, juicy factor to it when you finish off with a glossy top coat. It dries down quite flat, not so much matte like I'm seeing in a lot of thermals, which is very indicative to their finishes, but it does have this flat feeling to it. And the flakes didn't really give me any trouble in terms of texture, but I'm still going to suggest going in for something a little thicker, or maybe even a thin layer of a glitter smoothing top coat, as again, this one does dry down quite flat, and to give it that really juicy appearance, you're going to want to finish off glossy. And next is Beep Boop. This is a lovely squishy Crelly in a vibrant spring turquoise base with yellow hexes, black bars, teal triangles, green and red dots, and more. This is probably my top 3 in the collection. I really like this color. It's what I consider a true turquoise, definitely has a bit of an aqua vibe going on with it. I think it's going to play up against your skin tone quite a bit in that how it's going to have that somewhat greenish sort of undertone play up against your tones. And this one is so cute with the little glitters here. I had no problems in terms of fishing, but some of those larger glitters here, especially what you're seeing on that second coat here, you might need to go in with a touch of careful placement as you are applying. Next is Free Magic and a keychain. I'm there for that. This is a lovely cool toned purple Crelly with black and metallic navy shards accented with green to blue shifting iridescent flakes. So this also follows along with this Crelly sort of vibe. Lots of flakes and shards in this one. And for opacity, this one's another one that I'm really going to stress going in for 3 coats on. It starts off quite soft, but because it does have that softer feel in between the layers, it's going to give you that strong pond effect. The shards in this are quite heavy, so you're going to want to do the topper method where we kind of beat it up against your cuticle and slowly drag it down. That way you're not dragging these shards in here because they are of the heavier type, and you might need to do a touch of careful placement with them in the event that you are overworking it or you tend to polish a touch heavy-handed. This is another one that I'm going to strongly suggest a viscous top coat or a glitter smoother underneath. And next is Frosty Dandruff. This is a light blue when warm to deep blue when cold thermal, soft aqua micro glitters, and a gorgeous green to blue iridescent flake accent. So this is going into my top 3 so far. So I've shown you guys 2 out of the 3 of my favorites in this set, and this is very reactive in terms of thermal quality, and in the warm state it's got this lovely light blue, very icy sort of blue like what you're seeing on the actual application part here, and when it's cold it shifts over to this lovely deeper sort of blue. I personally really appreciated how the flakes themselves are that aqua greenish sort of glow that you're seeing in between those coats, and it's not the strongest, so it kind of takes a back seat to those little round matte glitters there, and I just think it gives a little bit extra depth without the flakes taking over the entire look. So definitely gives you this glowy effect, but your eyes are more caught up on that glitter look too. So really interesting in my opinion. Now this one also dries down quite flat, so you might need to finish off with a glitter smoother and or a much thicker glossy top coat. And next is My Birthday Wish is Vengeance. This is a pale pink Crelly base accented with microfine copper holographic flecks. Scattered within is an array of matte glitters in various sizes in festive colors such as pale yellow, blue, neon pink, hot orange, forest green, and more. This is all with a smattering of a fine pearl pink flake. I really liked this one too. Actually, my birthday is coming up, so I might be a little biased on that because I am always in the mood for cake and confetti looking polishes when my birthday is coming up. The Formula 2 Birthday Wish has a bit of a stronger crelly type of formula compared to those previous ones we just checked out. This has a very high squishy factor with it too. So I'm going to strongly suggest against overworking it. Just go in soft with your brush strokes. It does start off what appears to be on the sheer side, but it easily builds up. And this is another one that I'm going to strongly suggest 3 coats on. So this will give you that super cute animal cookies sort of appearance, and it does dry down quite flat, quite thirsty. So you're going to want to use glossy top coat and or a glitter smoother. And next is Science Dance. This is a hot pink curly with red iridescent flakes, red metallic flakes, purple metallic flakes, and matte orange shards. Now, please note, big neon lights here, that this polish is very limited. So if you're wanting it, get there when the shop opens, because this one has a total of 50 polishes only. And that's just because, unfortunately, those orange shards were quite difficult for maker Sophie to source. So again, 50 bottles of this one are available, which is also making the full sets going to be limited as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. And of course, this is one of those really cute ones in the set too. Now this has more of a jelly lean to it. I really appreciated those orange flakes. I mean, of course, those are what's making this one limited, but they are different in my opinion. And I just think they play up against that purple and that pink base so well. And again, I'm going to suggest going in with a thicker top coat. And next is Stretchy Powers. This is a bright, wholesome sunflower yellow crowley with assorted sizes of black, white, and hot pink matte glitters in hexes and dots. This also is accented by superfine, subtle golden sparkle. So this has a very jelly formula to it and really interesting yellow. I'm going to classify this base color as a true sunflower, or in my verbatim, I would say this is a taxi cab yellow, if that makes sense. There is a touch of a very soft mustard undertone with this one, and again, it just reminds me of a taxi cab. So I went in with the topper method on the second coat here because I realized that the glitters are a bit on the heavier side and the formula is a richer sort of jelly feel. So on the third coat, I went in ham. I recognize this part isn't super satisfying as I went in quite messy, but I felt like with this, it needed a touch of careful placement on those much larger glitters, especially the one there on my index finger. And it just helped to really give myself coverage without doing too much careful placement by going in so messy. And next is Theoretical Phytonomics. This is a tri-thermal with states of red when cold, pink in the middle, and yellow to gold when warm. This is filled with a red-green shifting iridescent flake and metallic berry glitters. So this is another really interesting one. I'm really digging these different sort of combinations that I'm seeing in this collection, especially with the flakes and then the glitters, and then there's a contrast for the base too. So I'm totally digging that, and I think this one really packs a punch, just like Science Dance did, that really limited edition one. Now, this has a very strong jelly formula, very similar to some of the previous ones that we've seen, and it gives you that juicy jelly sort of vibe when you go in with a glossy top coat. So this also has the heavier sort of feel with those glitters. So this is another one that I kind of went a little extra, kind of overworked it a bit, just so that I didn't have to do any careful placement. So I think this one's pretty forgiving, again, if you're going to do overworking and you're going to go a touch harsher with your brush strokes. You can kind of see me doing that on this third coat here. I'm just kind of rubbing that brush back and forth and then kind of harshly pulling it down, if that makes sense. And I thought it gave me a really good scattering across my nail. Now this one also has that somewhat thirsty, very flat type of dry down. So you're going to want to use a glitter smoother and or a glossy top coat. Now please note on my ice hand shot here, I was running very warm. So please note, I don't think you're getting a good idea of the ultra cold and that middle state, but please note it's definitely a tri-thermal. And next is Well Dressed Pickles. This is a bright grass green curly that is an absolute eye catcher, 10 out of 10, agree with that. Within our super fine teal micro flakes that give this shade a beautifully unique twist. I agree. This is the third one in my top 3 for this set. It's such a fun, beautiful, slimy type of green. I love greens like this. There's no real undertone happening here. It's more of a true white neon undertone, if that makes sense. And I'm totally digging the little very tiny microflakes. Really pretty. And the formula is very creamy. It's got a touch of a squish factor. Now, looking back on this, for the video, I stopped at 2 coats, and looking back, I probably should have stopped at 3 thinner coats. So when I wear this one again, I will definitely do that. Just take it a little thinner, a little slower, just to give it more of a plumped factor. And finally, we have You're Not Even Alive. This is described as a unique deep purple that's almost a black, filled with red to green iridescent flakes, pale mint matte hexes, and metallic red glitters. Please note there is an issue with the sourcing on the metallic red glitters that you're seeing in the video here. So your bottle, customer bottles, will receive matte red glitters with a similar red tone. They're going to be just a touch less reflective than the one you're seeing on the video here. Now this one has that heavier sort of jelly formula to it. It kind of reminds me of Stretchy Powers, and I kind of went ham on my brush strokes and I overworked it just to really get this one to just pull out those glitters and flakes really well. And I found that doing that and kind of really working it and doing 2 coats was perfect. Now this one dries down quite thirsty, so I'm going to strongly suggest a glitter smoother underneath your glossy top coat. The complete collection for the Fist Bump set will be on sale for $121 for all 10 polishes. You can absolutely grab them individually as well. I'm going to link you guys below to Femme Fatale's website, and please note that polish, the pink one, Science Dance, is limited to 50 bottles. I can't warn you guys enough. If you're wanting it, I'd strongly recommend getting it, because honestly, I really feel like they're going to sell out on Femme Fatale's pre-order, and whatever sells out, it won't make it to stockists. So I just want to put that warning out there. If you want it, grab it through Femme Fatale's pre-sale. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.